Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Racing Races. I think there was a bit of a loud hi. I do apologise. Um, so, handicap mark changes. Let's have a look at those that caught my eye this week. Starting off with Alligator Alley. Dropped £2. If you listen to my other video, I thought he was given a terrible ride, a pathetic ride actually. I think I'd use the word pathetic rather than terrible. The jockey didn't move. Once he got beat, he was like, I've given up. And it was a really poor effort. It was really poor from the jockey, but also the BHA for not doing something about it. I thought that was at least deserved an inquiry. With that in mind, he's clearly nicely handicapped. I do believe he's well handicapped, and I think I'd be looking at this race, the Nicholson Gin Handicap Stakes. It's over 5 furlongs at Goodwood. Now, currently rated 94, he gets in comfortably. The reason I like him, he's only been to Goodwood once, right back here. He was second. This is the Group 3. Group 3 or Group 2? Group 3, I think, to Liberty Beach. Let's just wait for it to load. There we go. Got beat by Liberty Beach. Look at the half figures for Liberty Beach. Huge. Alligator Alley finished second to a proper group horse. He could run in a handicap. I mean, that looks obvious to me. Surely he goes for the Nicholson Gin Handicap Stakes. Who would be his big danger? Well, I am going to just jump quickly to one later on, because I think the danger would be Lord Ridderford. Lord Ridderford dropped £3 for his effort in the Epsom Dash. Don't forget, if they don't, he ran on Good to Firm. You can see that was his first time actually on Good to Firm. He'd actually been taken out a couple of times on Good to Firm. I understand why they gave it a go. They thought, it's the Epsom Dash, it's worth at least trying it. It didn't work. That means he's back down to a mark of 84. He's won this race here and here. He's won it the last 2 years of 88 and 87. He's down to 84. He's £3 and £4 lower than when winning the race. Surely that's where he runs. So they would be the two for me in that race. I mean, they're both obvious. They really should be going to Goodwood. Alligator Alley and Lord Ridderford. Next horse that caught my eye in the handicap marks was Baldomero, who's dropped £2. And interestingly, they've not really ran him on the turf. And just before the race, one of his owners was suggesting that I don't think he's going to let himself down on this ground. And it looks like he didn't. You can see he ran disappointingly on Good to Firm. But a lot of his form had been on good or standard, because he'd had a lot of runs on the all-weather. Well, the last time he actually ran on turf, the last 3 runs on turf, June 2023, so this race at Epsom, May 2023, and then you've got to go back all the way to here when he was 3rd at Nottingham in a handicap. Now, if we have a look at this handicap, this was on good ground, so this is the ground I think he wants. Came behind Dark Shift and Dubai Mirage. I was going to say Mirage. Dubai Mirage. That's good form. I like Caradoc. I think he's got a handicap in him if the trainer decides to bring him back to the flat. Austrian Theories obviously won at he won at Epsom, didn't he, recently? Yeah, Baldomero, get him back on the all-weather on the turf in a race that suits him. And there's this Witsbury Manor handicap over a mile for 3-year-olds rated 81 to 100. Well, he's rated 88, so he'd get in relatively near the bottom. And interestingly, the Shalar progeny are actually, they've only had 2 runners at Salisbury over 7 furlongs to a mile and 1. So smack bang in the middle is this 1 mile trip. They finished 1st and 2nd. Interestingly, 2nd in this race and 1st in a novice race. Or it might have even been the other way round. This has got to be where they go with Baldomero. It's a decent race. It's got some prize money at least. It's not a complete waste of time running in it. And yeah, I mean, everything points to a big run if he does go there, as long as he gets slightly easier ground. Just good. Doesn't need to be anything worse than that. Just good. Will be absolutely fine for him. Moving on to the next horse, Came from the Dark. Now this one actually, a person called, what is his name? I know his Twitter handle. What does he call himself? Drax on Twitter. Pointed this one out, and I completely agree with him. Came from the Dark, came from a long way back at Epsom and just found everything happening too quick. You can see that he's got form on good to soft. and good ground. Okay, he's got a good run here on good to firm, but a lot of it comes when he's got a bit of cut in the ground, and that's what I think he needs as well. Where would I go with him? Again, I think this one's obvious. There's this handicap. Where is it? Which handicap is it? It is, let me just see what I said. The Ladies' Day, the first day, the first race. 3-year-old handicap. He is currently rated 89, so he'd just get in at the bottom. Has he ever been to Sandown? Yes, let's have a look. It was a win in a Group 3. So he's won a Group 3 at the track. Surely he would go close in the handicap, wouldn't he? You know, on Friday the 7th of July. It's a nice, exactly 1 month today. The next horse I want to highlight is a horse called Halifon, who, as in my previous video, yeah, maybe this wasn't the day they were going for. Maybe they are waiting for something else. And you can see last year he came to Epsom, finished second, then he won his next 2. Maybe he just needed the run this year, or maybe he needs a couple of runs before they actually find a race for him. Could it be something towards the back end of the season that they're targeting? I don't think he wants the soft ground. You can see he's disappointed on soft, but he's got good form on good ground, and I think that's key to him as well. Again, I think he was another one that didn't let himself down on that really fast ground. Again, same story. Mokkatil ran on quite nicely actually for 9th in the Epsom Dash, never near a 9th. Handicapper was kind. He dropped him another £2 to 83. You go here, don't you? You come back for this 6 furlong nifty 50 handicap stakes. He's rated 83. This is for horses rated 71 to 90. So he'd be one of the better horses in the race. You know, last couple of years he's actually gone for this Stewards Cup consolation race, and he's finished 12th and 9th. No point going for that again. Go to a race that you can win. He's won at Epsom. He's won at Epsom over 6. Over 6, yes he has. Back here. No, not there. Here. So he's won at Epsom over 6. This looks ideal for him. This 6 furlong Betfred nifty 50 handicap stakes on the 5th of July. I'd be very confident of a big run there. Ross Collin is a standout if he gets in the Buckingham Palace Stakes. £10 lower than when he was 3rd last year. Doesn't want a mile, never wanted a mile. I mean, they dropped him to nearly 6.5 and then thought, oh no, let's go 7 and now let's go a mile and half a furlong. I mean, he's just getting ready for Royal Ascot. If he gets in the Buckingham Palace Stakes, I would expect him to bounce back. Lord Ridderford, I've talked about. He's got to go back for his race, hasn't he? He's only won that race. Look, he won it in 2021, didn't do anything afterwards. Won it in 2022, didn't win after that. He can come back and go close again. It'll be him versus Alligator Alley. And the final horse I want to talk about is Vintage Clarets. Now, I was surprised, to be honest, that he wasn't in this qualifier. 5 furlong Class 2 Sprint Series Handicap qualifier at Windsor. The final actually represents some good prize money, and you can see he wasn't in this. Where would he have been? He's currently rated 87, so he would have been about here in the middle, but I think it's his course form that really caught my eye. He's been here once, and he won. Beating Equality, Water of Leith. This was in a racing league race for 25 grand to the winner. It could be what they're going to try again. They could be running in this silly racing league thing. Whatever race he runs in at Windsor, over 5 or 6, I'd be very confident of a big run, whether it's a racing league race or whether they're targeting the final with him. So there's just some quick thoughts on the handicap marks. Alligator Alley surely goes to Goodwood, has the form, given a terrible ride or a pathetic ride. Baldemero looks well handicapped. I think he is well handicapped on the turf. This Witsbury Manor handicap at Salisbury would suit him perfectly. Came from the dark. Could run in the handicap this year rather than the Group 3 which he won previously. Halifon, keep an eye out where he goes next. Mokkatil, he ran on nicely over 5. It all happened too quick. Step him up to 6 for the nifty 50 handicap. Ross Collin, if he gets in the Buckingham Palace Stakes, would have a massive chance off a £10 lower mark. Lord Ridderford back for his race. and vintage clarets wherever he goes for at Windsor is where I would be very keen on his chances. Thanks for listening. As always, thanks for your feedback, positive as well as negative. We don't mind negative feedback as long as it's constructive. Give me some thoughts as to what I should be doing, what you want to hear more of, what you want to hear less of, and we can certainly try and work that into our future videos.